Hi everyone, this is Matt Vines. I am one of the Green Skills Program Managers with URI. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about vine ID. Specifically, we're going to focus on the two main problem vines that, one, are pretty common in our forests, small forest landscapes in this area, and two, they're vines that are likely to pose problems to both mature and young trees, and are therefore going to be a focus of some of our actual removal work. So here right next to me, you actually have a great example of both of them side by side. And these two vines are Oriental Bittersweet, which is a non-native invasive vine, and Wild Grape, which is actually a native vine. I know ID specifically in the winter can seem pretty daunting, but if you see them side by side, there are actually a lot of differences, and it's fairly easy to distinguish. So Oriental Bittersweet on the left here is this lighter colored vine. It's almost a light grayish color, and you can see it has all these darker pock marks or lenticels on it. It's also got a fairly smooth bark. Grape, on the other hand, to the right, is a much darker brown, and it's got this really shreddy bark appearance. If you grab it and pull it, it'll very easily come off in your hand. So if you do happen to see them side by side, they're really easy to distinguish. They're not always side by side though, so if you see shreddy, dark, you should be thinking grape. If you're seeing light, smooth, then you should be thinking bittersweet. Alright, so another one of our main native vines that you're likely to encounter when you're out in the forest is Virginia creeper. We've got a great example right here. This can be a bit more difficult to identify. I like to think that it has a little bit of a lattice work texture in the bark here. It's kind of a medium brown. It's got some blockiness to it. And then you'll notice that it pretty much goes, if it's attached to a tree, it'll pretty much go straight up and down that tree. And the way it attaches is actually by tendrils, which, if you look at the bottom here, you can see it's got these tendrils on the backside that'll actually anchor it to this tree. And that's how it attaches and climbs. This is a bit more difficult to identify, especially in the winter. So when in doubt, bittersweet really is our primary focus. So if you aren't sure, if you think it's not bittersweet, but you aren't sure exactly what it is, it's okay to leave it behind. Here we are at kind of an interesting one. This is another invasive Multiflora Rose. And if you've ever seen this, you've probably seen it as a shrub. It doesn't often grow as vines, but it can grow as a vine. You see that it's twined its way all the way to the top and is one of the culprits in killing our young oak tree here. Its primary identifying characteristic is these really nasty recurved thorns. So you see they're actually curved down. If you catch this coming down, nothing's really going to happen. But if you're sliding up this branch, that's going to grab you and hold you. So this is kind of an interesting one. Again, as you're out doing invasives, you probably won't see many of these as vines, but do be careful for them because they can certainly grab you.